Well, hello everybody. It's 2023, and I was going to do this box of nickels last night, but Big Flip's amazing New Year's stream went. I don't know what time it was for him, but I think I finally cut out at around 3:30 in the morning um, here on the East Coast. I know I was up long enough for the West Coast New Year's Eve to happen. Um, so I caught them all in succession. Pretty good. Great night. Lots of giveaways over there last night. So I will jump into this box. Now, I have my nickel book, the only one where we have any gaps over here. And of course, that's the older one. 2, 6. Yeah, we're missing maybe about 20 some odd nickels. They're all the earliest ones at 59, at 58. So we're looking for a lot of the earlier stuff. So this may not be as fruitful to fill the book as we had hoped. But, Kellen, welcome in, sir. We can melt some stuff, but I want to know what we're going to make it into because buttons are not the way that I like to store my things. I like things like this. This bracelet that I got from Kevin. So I'm going to get a bin ready. Set it off to the side. Oh, I guess I should go to full coin roll hunt mode. You guys aren't seeing the box. I did slip it open. Now here, I'll show you guys what I see. I slipped this open yesterday because I wanted to see. It wasn't sealed, like it's a box, and honestly, I think that's my writing. Over here it says 96. So I think this is a box I returned before, but here's the weird thing. I usually mark my rolls, and there's no markings on this, and they look like they're customer wrapped. So we're going to see how this goes. I don't know. It should be pretty apparent pretty quickly if it's stuff I've searched before. Well, maybe not because it's nickels. Yeah, maybe that's I guess if we start finding the older stuff, then we know it's not stuff I've searched. Because I would have pulled most of that and there wouldn't be a whole lot of that in the rolls. But we'll start getting some out here and busting them open. Try to organize the desk a bit here. Give me some space. Siren. Happy New Year. Oh, it's just Siren now. Well, see, now we got a problem because your bag... Well, no, I'm sorry. The bag says triple S on it. And that doesn't look like that's you. And I think this is 9 grams of silver. That's very upsetting that I don't have anyone named Siren Silverstash to send this to now. War nickels. We could only hope. I still don't think I've ever found a war nickel in a box. From a bank. I'm almost certain that's a true statement. Alright, so we're going to get into this and just kind of roll through it, no pun intended, and see what happens. Nothing too crazy. I hope everyone had a fun and safe night. Obviously, if you're on here, the next day, you've been safe, I hope, and everybody had a relatively good New Year's Eve. I forget what time exactly it was, but I had the last couple of beers that I had for the occasion last night, so I'm not the way I make it sounds like an alcoholic saying I'm not drinking anymore. It's not that. I never drank to excess or anything like that. I didn't even drink like every day. But just in the new year, I've done it before. I'm going to do it again, but this time I'm going to try to make it stick. And the focus is on, instead of just hanging out and drinking and trying to quote unquote relax, I'm going to try to be productive. Do something instead of like, oh, I should just sit down and have a beer. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to, work on shooting a video. I'm going to work on listing 5 more things on eBay. Like, just whatever. Instead of doing something where I'm kind of stagnant and there's no growth, I'm going to try to do something productive and see how this year does for me. I think it's going to work out really well. Now, again, we're looking for 2009s. We're also looking for a lot of the S's and some of those things. There's a really beat up 64. Those are just some of the niceties, some of the things that are harder to find. And so we're going to try to keep those if we find them. But the focus is on that really early stuff, which will be readily apparent when and if we find it. 79. D? No. Just 79. So, Kendall's here. What's going on, bub? I hope everyone is enjoying a day off. Not everybody is going to, unfortunately. Some things open back up. I will say, I dropped a package off at the post office. eBay continues to surprise me. Now, I sold something, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'll never lie to you. I kind of got taken to the cleaners on it, and it wasn't like buyer's remorse. I'm just, with the eBay store, like I've stated a couple of times, I'm listing stuff that I have on there in an attempt to kind of build that, not only like hopefully a customer base of some sorts, but to generate sales, right? Like, you list stuff, you sell stuff. And so I looked through a bunch of my stuff. I'm like, what can I live without? And one of those things was a Danbury Mint Mint in Space set I bought a while back from Silver Seeker. Now, I forget what exactly I paid for it, but I'm pretty sure I have a ballpark number. And I listed it a touch higher, with some shipping. After the eBay fees and everything are calculated, I took some form of small bath on it. Like, I'm down a couple of bucks. But I generated a high dollar sale. Hopefully that individual receives it and is happy with it, and maybe we'll come back and check some of my stuff. Plus, it was something that, like, at the time I was like, oh, that's cool. But then that's a lot of coins, and it didn't have a display box or anything, so they were just in a capsule in a storage box, that I have. And I didn't have anyone to show it to. I didn't have anyone to brag that I had it. It wasn't as prominent a part of my collection as I had thought. So it was one of the things where I was like, yeah, I could sell that, I guess. And so I listed it, and it sold, not in short order. It had been up there for a little bit, but what it looked like is the guy that bought it, or person that bought it, I guess I should say, kind of waited for the auction to kind of roll. And like right there on the last day, right before the end of the auction, they put in that lowest bid and won it for that amount. It could have gone for more. It was the lowest one on eBay when I listed it, at least. It was the lowest priced complete silver set that I could find. So I had that going for me. There's a 2006 Return to Monticello. It's not in the best of shape, but we'll set it aside. Josh, welcome in. Good to see you. I just threw out a short a little while ago about 2023 coin roll hunting, giving hopefully people some ideas and tips on, what can you do in 60 seconds, but giving them some basic tips on what they can do with some of the 2023s, because as some of you know, there's a decent 74. Um, I just, even in December, uh, had some luck selling some 2022 bank wrapped rolls. Yeah, they're all 2022's full roll, but, or I guess they're technically mint wrapped, or whoever that company is that seems to do that for the mint. I'm not sure. It's like PH Harris or something like that. But I had some luck selling a couple of those. Didn't make me rich, but I made like maybe a couple bucks, I think, on the sale. Um, Not too bad. But when these 2023s come out, you got options because, as we know, people like Kendall is still saying he hasn't seen an Ada Mae Wong quarter, and it's the end of 2022. So, some areas are wanting to see these coins and don't see them until way later than some other areas. So, selling full rolls on eBay may be an option. I've seen people selling full boxes of rolls. Now, I don't want to know what that shipping looks like, but there's a Denver and a Denver 64. But, if somebody wants them and is willing to, figure that out and pay that price to get some, you can make some money that way. Mostly that's going to be people looking through them for errors. If it's a whole box, nobody really wants that. 70, but it's a D. Not seeing a whole lot of early stuff so far. Annette, welcome in. Good to see you. Yes, happy hunting. I realized, I forget what time last night, but I realized pretty quick that Big Flip was going to run late. All the boxes that he sold of rolls to hunt himself and everything else they had going on with the auctions, I was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to stream tonight. I was trying to, but it, past like 1 a.m., I'm like, oh, okay, not going to happen tonight. So I did a couple of things. I got that package off in the mail, dropped off, and so my afternoon was open. So I'm going to do this, go through this box, and then, ooh, there's a decent 87. 87D. That looks... Is that a scratch? Yeah, it's like a nick in his hair. Nothing too crazy, but it looks really good. But the collar has a nick. Okay. I won't keep it. It's probably not an upgrade. That's weird. There's another 87 right behind it. Coin rolls. They're weird things. I do like the fact that the machines kind of mix them back up when they... It's always, a mix with the machines. With these customer wrap, you never know. While Flip was going through his stuff last night, I went through some pennies. If you saw the short on 2023 coin roll hunting, those are the pennies and stuff that I had on the table in front of me during that. Customer wrapped, just like these, they were customer wrapped. It wasn't a full box or anything, but I found 5 dimes in customer wrapped rolls of pennies. How does that happen? You really couldn't find another penny, so you put dimes in here? I get it, and I guess if you do that, fine. But it seemed kind of odd. You usually see that kind of thing with the machine wrap stuff. But I came out ahead. I got those dimes and put them back in my spare change. And I'll move on. But just kind of odd. I got real excited at one point. Because I found a customer wrapped roll where the roll was fine. I didn't see anything wrong with the paper or anything, but they had taped it shut with Scotch tape on both ends. High Plains Drifter, welcome in. And so when I saw that, I was kind of like, okay, there might there might be something in here. No, I have no idea why it was taped or like what was going on with that, but they had taped it shut. Um, but there was nothing crazy in it. I don't know. Maybe just for security of the roll. Maybe, I don't know. But it was the only one like that, and I got excited. I was hoping that there would be something in there, a roll of proofs that somebody collected or something. But no, unfortunately not. Can't win them all. So I had a pretty good New Year's. The child stayed up late. She's over there now watching, I'm sure, YouTube or something on her iPhone and listening through Bluetooth headphones because she was sitting here playing her stuff or whatever. And I'm like, don't you have headphones? And she's like, yeah, but I can't find them. And so we looked and couldn't find the plug-in ones. But I remembered that she got Bluetooth headphones recently for Christmas. And I'm like, well, what about these? Like, and she said she didn't know how to pair them. So I paired them up for her and got her turned on. Okay, here's a 2006, technically returned to Monticello, and it's in really nice shape. So that's something that we'll set aside because we are going to make... I still need to do that. I need to grab those out and make up some sets. 75D. For more of the giveaways. So I can offload a lot of these well, not a lot, but some of these westwards, so that people that wouldn't otherwise go through nickel boxes can just get not an amazing set, but a complete set of the westward journey nickels, and they don't have to worry about it. They can just kind of sit on them. Roadhog dimes are, you're mainly looking for silver. And then just anything odd, like an off-center strike, where, it's the round dime and the stamping is off in any direction by any largely measurable amount, like it's one-sided somewhere. There's a couple... There's some things to do with the mint marks on a couple of them, but I've never really paid too much attention on those, so I don't know what those specific years and is there a mint mark, is there not a mint mark kind of thing. But there's that, but there's not a lot on dimes, and I'll tell you why. And it's because they've been on that rosy run for ever and a day. I actually said a while back, I feel like the dimes are the next thing, and maybe even the nickel. Well, the nickel's kind of got one with the new face, but not really. Let's be honest. So I feel like dimes are up next for a complete overhaul, but they've been on them so long, they're so good at it. Those dies are stable. They know what works by now. There's not a lot. I'm not saying there are no errors, but it's nowhere near as prevalent as pennies or some of these others. They're out there, but they've got dimes down to a fine art. So you're looking for silver, you're looking for anything odd that sticks out, and you have my information. You can get a hold of me if you need to. Email me a picture of something if you think it's odd, and I'll take a look at it, and I'll let you know what I think. But yeah, dimes are kind of, they're not bad to hunt, and you can find silver. I have recently found silver, not in droves, but I have found it. But dimes they're too good at that run. The dies don't chip like a lot of the others. They have it down to a science on those rosies, and you're just not going to see a lot of the other things. So 64 and before on the date, just like the quarters and the halves, are 90% silver. But you'll be able to see that from the rim. You won't see the copper. It'll be solid silver color on the rim of the coin. to tell you that it's silver. You also might find some Canadian. And I'm no expert on the Canadian because they shifted their fineness a couple of times, but I don't even know what the final year was for silver on Canadians, but a lot of that, like 40s, 50s, I think somewhere even up into the 60s. I think it's somewhere close to ours, is silver. It just varies on the years and how much silver. They did 50%, they did 80%, I think, for a while. So if you find early or mid-century Canadians from like the 40s, 50s, 60s, somewhere there, hold all of those and do like a Google search, because there's a good chance that you got silver in there. Copper coins, Happy New Year. We're just going through nickels. I was going to do this last night. I didn't get to because Big Flip was giving his half his collection away. He had all those dollars, and that was a good game. I don't know where he got all those dollars. I'm sure like LCS or something like that. But he had a lot of those the colorized dollar bills, or I'm sorry, $2 bills, and he had a bunch of those, and they were all like similar. I've seen different styles of those colorized, but he had like a really cool one where they did the border and they'd have something, and they went around Jefferson and had some kind of background, and they were all for different states, and it was a guess the state kind of giveaway, and because he had so many, it just kept everybody guessing. And it was actually kind of fun because you'd get one guess, and you could tell some people would guess early, and then some people were consistently waiting till later to try to have better odds to see what wasn't correct from everybody else. But it was really fun, and they must have, God, I don't know, they must have gave away probably at least 15 to 20 of them, I think. I mean, we were doing like 1, 2, maybe even 3 sometimes, like back to back. And they were just every so often to keep the chat entertained, to keep things moving and exciting. It was awesome. Frostbite, welcome in. Happy New Year. We're trying to look through nickels. Trying to keep up on the chat. Look through nickels at the same time. We're doing not so bad. There's only about 9 or 10 people in here, so it's workable. But so far, we haven't found much. A couple of 2006s. One really nice one. But those are the Return to Monticello. I still argue that I do not think that is officially part of the Westward Journey nickels. But as I've seen the complete collections of Westward Journey nickels, they have that in there. So I'm having that in there. Plus, I want to say the mintage was not super high that year. I'd have to check. But, I know 2009, it's really low, and we will save all of those when we find them. What's that? 2016. But we'll get through it. It won't be as entertaining as some of the other streams, I guess. But we'll manage. So the daughter wants McDonald's for dinner. Like, we talked about lunch, and she had already kind of ate, and we were out, and I was like, well, do you want to go to McDonald's now while we're out? And she said, no, I'm not hungry. I already ate a little bit earlier. Can we go later? And this is already like 1 o'clock something here, and I'm like, well, later is dinner, and we can go for dinner, but that's gonna be a few hours. And she's like, okay. So we apparently are going to McDonald's, which is not exactly the dietary way that I want to start out the new year, but you also have to keep the kids somewhat happy, so I'm gonna give her that. We are going to, I thought I saw an older one as I was dumping those out. We'll see. We'll get there. Shy Guy's here. Congratulations, Shy Guy. think you were, I think you got at least one of those bills that I was talking about last night, didn't you? Those colorized that Flip was giving away. I think you got one. A lot of people got them. Some people, I think, was it Thomas? I think Thomas got two of them. He was just guessing perfectly in some of the... It's a 76 with a lot of luster, but some damage. Won't keep it. Yeah, so those colorized hunting pennies now. I hate it when I drop stuff. My carpet, until I get this house remodeled, is like it's not shag per se, but compared to what people normally have in their homes, it's shag. I mean, it's very thick, so like coins disappear when you drop them into the carpet, especially pennies and dimes. Found many dimes with the vacuum cleaner, if you know what I'm saying. You don't think so? I thought you did. Maybe I'm crazy. Did you win any giveaways last night? I know I heard your name brought up. There was a lot going on, though. He had tons of people in there at one point. I think he was up to 60 some, almost 70 people in the live stream, which I'm not saying is necessarily uncharacteristic, but just it was a busy room. There was a lot going on. Seemed like a lot of faces that maybe hadn't been around too much recently jumped in, you know. I know there was a couple he said he hadn't seen in a while, which is fine. I mean, everybody has priorities and time and other things to do at different points. But it's always good to see old faces or someone that you haven't seen recently. I guess not. I thought we had an old one in here, but I don't see anything. That's an 82. Oh. Wait, what is this one? It's all worn. Oh, no. Huh. I don't know. Maybe these are... Yeah, it was fun last night. I will not lie to you. I have a couple of the... I think at least two colorized bills. Not the same type that he had, but, you know, different ones. And I do have a relatively small collection of bills, different things. So, I was trying. I was legitimately trying on some of those bills just to see if I could get one. And I was always off. There was that one, Pennsylvania, towards the end of the night. And I'm guessing, like, you know, Midwest, like Utah, I think maybe on that one. I was looking at it like what's been already come up before, because I'm thinking surely there's probably not doubles. And there had been a lot of stuff on like the Midwest and the East Coast. So I'm like, oh, for sure it's got to be something on the... Nope, it was Pennsylvania, and I missed it. It just, I couldn't, I was never geographically close to whatever was up. I was always way far off. And there's 50 states. It's a lot of guessing, and not very good odds, I suppose. But it was super fun. I don't know how much that cost him, you know, in terms of the giveaways, but that's a super fun way to do it. I'm very happy that he came up with that, because 2007, no. It seemed like the chat really enjoyed it. Everybody had fun. Pretty fair. 2006. We haven't found a single official Westward, but we keep finding 2006s, which is fine because I got to put together those sets. So that's not bad. 2001, 15. I don't know. I'm not seeing a whole lot of old stuff. And this doesn't look familiar to me. And yeah, so here's one old. I haven't got very far in the the box to look like what's beyond the next row. But this one, if you see that there, has writing on it and it says miscellaneous and it's an old wrap. Again, who knows what's inside? We'll find out in a minute. But that's the only interesting thing I see right now. A lot of these, I don't know. Maybe I have searched these rolls before. Maybe this is my box. Because it said 96 on it, which is what I do when I take them back. So I know, you know, what they're depositing. And maybe they just added a few rolls to it. I'm not sure. But I didn't mark them, which if I take stuff back to this bank, I mark them. So again, it's a toss-up. Plus, it's been a while since I took nickels back to that bank. So I would like to think that these are not mine. But I would expect to find more. Not really seeing a lot. Alright, that looks old. Let's see what that is. 63. Just missed it. And it's got a rim ding. That's encouraging. Something a little older. 2018, maybe. We'll get there, and we will do a giveaway in just a minute, because I am still feeling generous, and I have not yet, of course, mailed anything out. 84, 88. That one's got a lot of toning on it. What's up with you? 2020. With some good toning. I don't really look at the nickels too much for errors. It's kind of that similar thing. I mean, I guess the 2022s have the Smokin' Jefferson. It's like a dyed chip or a crack or something around his mouth. But it's, from what all the ones I've seen, those are like apparent. It sticks out like a sore thumb. So if you see one of those, you're gonna know you have one. I'm not one for music, but a little music might be good. The royalty-free stuff, though, is always hard. I know a buddy of mine who used the site for like a couple of years on like royalty-free music for his live streams. He would have like hangout streams, and you know, people would come hang out. He'd put a little, you know, background music, I guess, in the background, and did that. And he used some app or something with like royalty-free music, and then at some point, like, I don't know, a year, 2 years later, something, they went through and started copyright claiming all of those streams that had music that he had used in them. And I don't know if it was the artist changing their mind or that platform like trying to pull a fast one or what, hoping that somebody put that in like a high performing video and they could get a cut of it. I don't know, but they did, and he had to edit out parts, because you can do that now. He had to edit out parts of, which is live streams for him. It was not like a big deal, but when he first got all the notifications for the copyright claims, you know, it was like tons of them, and he's like, well, I don't want this on like my YouTube record, right? So he had to go through and edit the stuff out, which in the sections of the ones that it did, it would tell him like, here is the bad music. So that always kind of messed with me, and I haven't wanted to really screw with the music too much because of that. Don't want to have problems later. But we will get through this one, then we'll do a giveaway, and then we'll get into that weird roll, the last one in the row, and see what, if anything, is inside of that one. 2008. Nothing we need. 2007. 78. Ooh, you're pretty. What are you? I think that's worth keeping. So let me go up a little bit. I think I need a stronger magnet or something. These nails that I have in the cam setup thing, I think they're starting to get like polarity from the magnet, the constant use. So, again, it doesn't look like much. It's an 84p, but it's just got like relatively little damage. I guess a nick there on the back. Is that a nick? Yeah, man, that's hateful. It almost makes me want to not keep it, but it's actually in decent shape, so we will keep it. The nickels, you don't find much to keep, especially once you've filled up the majority of your, later years books. So what are you? Burnt nickel? 1990. It's all burnt and rim dings and everything else. So 64. Nothing special. You're probably in the 80s. Yep, 88. And a 74. Okay. So, I guess we could stick with the grams, and I'm sure we will. But for right now, let's be generous. It's a new year, 1913. There was a big flood here in my area at that time. People won't quit talking about it. If you go downtown, like Dayton, Ohio, on some of the buildings, you can still see the water line from the flood. It was in 1913. It was like a huge deal here. They called out the, I forget what they were called at the time, like the Army Corps of Engineers, and I'm sure like whoever else, the equivalent of the National Guard. Maybe it was the National Guard then too. But they called all these people out not only to help, but then to the Army Corps of Engineers and all the smartest minds from the area made a plan to keep the flood from happening again and fixed it, at least from... Yeah, I'm from Dayton, Da Vinci. Well, originally. I'm not there now. I'm not far, but I'm not there now. But we will give this away. Let me get over to the stream bot and do the giveaway. 3-minute timer starts now. Yeah, I somewhere around here, I don't have it out, but I have I bought off somebody was selling for what I consider to be dirt cheap a set of bronze medals of the Wright brothers. It's like both of them, and then I think the one in the middle has like the flyer on it. And they're bronze. They're nothing like to write home about, but it's in like a nice kind of flip. I did a short about it a long time ago. And yeah, I just like some stuff like that. I had a buddy who was really into the heritage of the Wright brothers in the area. And I actually talked to, I forget what her name is. It's like Anne or something like that. I talked to one of their living descendants, whoever like kind of runs things like in their name, and handles like their foundation and whatever else that they still have kind of ongoing. I forget her name. I want to say it was Anne or something like that, Anne or Amber, but this was years ago, probably a decade ago. And we were talking about some stuff and trying to go through some things, and actually got to speak with her, and it was kind of cool. Because some of that stuff is still here in Dayton. A lot of it's been taken away. They had, like, I think it was a bicycle shop, and maybe it was Ford, like, picked it up and took it to, like, Michigan or something. I don't know why, but yeah, that's, like, up in Michigan now. Alright, I'm not even going to pull this up. I'm not going to open it. I got it sitting here. Let me check on the timer. 1 minute left. I see five people in. Annetson, Kendall, Cyclonic, Josh, and Roadhog. It's like 8 of you in here. One of those is probably me. I don't know. No, I don't actually have the stream up. So there's officially 8 of you in here. Coin Junkie's in now. He wants a barber dad. There we go. All right, 30 seconds, and we'll close it out. But, yeah, Dayton's kind of cool for that. Like, I know some areas really don't have, like, a lot of history, and I'm not saying we have a ton, really. But there's a lot there with the Wright brothers, and some of the other things that happened in the area. It's kind of a storied past. Wasn't it, like... Didn't they catch, like, what? I'm probably going to get this wrong, but isn't it like John Dillinger or something? Or maybe I'm getting names crossed, but he was like a bank robber. I think Johnny Depp did a movie about him or something. And I want to say they caught him in Dayton. I'd have to Google to make sure. But I think they caught him in Dayton. Like, he was robbing banks everywhere, and they finally caught him here. All right, let me see. I think we're probably close. All right, hold on. Lynette, I'm sorry, Jay. I cannot pronounce your last name. Legendaire? Yeah, I guess. I'm probably butchering that, but it looks like you're right. Let me see if you got in. Alright, I don't see you in, but let me check loyalty. J. I don't see... I don't see you in the list. So here, I'm going to open it back up for a second. I'll resume entries. Try to type it again. I don't know if you just missed it. But, Jay, do it again, because I don't see you in the list. And if you're not in the list, then it's not going to put you into the giveaway. So type it one more time, please. Dun, dun, dun. Did you type it yet? Da Vinci's getting in. Try it one more time, Jay. I don't see you on my list. I think maybe you missed the time frame. You keep trying, Da Vinci. Well, let me check you too, because everybody should have enough points to get in. Let me check Da Vinci. DA. Man, this thing is not... I don't know. It's like their search for usernames kind of sucks. I'm not going to lie to you. Let's see. Capital DA. I'm not even seeing you in the list, Da Vinci. I'm not saying you're not there, but it's not... I don't even see you. And if I can't see you, I can't give you points. Add points to all viewers. 50. Okay. Boom. It's queued. I don't know how long that's going to take. But you have 0. How is that? You're supposed to get them every time you chat. I'll have to check. I had some problems with the stream bot, so maybe some things got messed up. I had to redo a bunch of stuff, so maybe I do have that whacked out. Um, but give it just a second, and we'll try this again. Man, giving stuff away is hard work. Let me get over here and look again. Giveaways. I think, Jay, I think you're still missing the space. And I don't see Da Vinci yet. And I don't even know that it's come. Has it come in and given everybody points? If I win, send it to Da Vinci. Well, that's very kind of you. And usually, man, I don't. Usually it's not this bad. But like I said, I messed up the stream bot the other day. Well, a while ago. And so I had to redo a bunch of this. Okay, so. Duh. That doesn't make sense. I don't even see you. It's like you don't exist. I see Siren Silverstash under her previous name. Hopefully she's still getting all of those points because she has a lot. I don't think this search thing is working either. I don't see Jay at all in any form. And if I can't see you, at least I don't know. Settings, interval, points per interval. Yeah, every time you're in here, you should get points like every 5 minutes. I have it set up right now. And it's enabled. Payouts to live users. I don't know what it calls live users. Payouts to active users. Those are all active. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the heck that's about. Because it's all on. Should get 5 points every... Or you should get... Yeah, amount of payout, time in between each... Yeah, you should get points just for being in here. Let me see. Let me see where we're at. Did anybody get added in? I don't... Yeah, Jay got in. So, Da Vinci, what the heck is going on with you? Try one more time, Da Vinci. Because now this is bothering me. And it should come back. Streamlabs. There you go. Now, okay, so it must have been a points thing. So when I gave everybody points, there, now we got it. Yeah, the Streamlabs bot will come back and confirm that you've entered. Okay, so we got it. Everyone's in, and now we pick Kendall. All right. Kendall, you know how this goes? I'll hold it for you. So it's not the only thing I said. But yeah, grab one of these baggies and I'll throw it in there with your name on it. It's not amazing, but this is what, 120 years old now officially. So that's pretty amazing. Sweet. Okay. Complete that giveaway. And now we'll get back to this, the only interesting thing that we have going on with these rolls so far. And that's these nickels. Let me peek. Because I don't think, I had this weird feeling the rest of this is going to be all plain Jane rolls. And it looks like it. So, fingers crossed that there's actually something in here. This paper you can tell is like, oh, it's fragile. This is an old roll. Come on. Fall out. I see what look like a lot of older ones. and a couple newer ones. So maybe we got something. 2021. What are you? 1940. Okay, yeah, these might be older things. Hold on, we're gonna take our time with this. 60. Another 1940. Okay, hold on. 39. We're looking for a 39D. There's a 39. Here's another 30. Yeah, there's a lot of old. Damn, it's not a 39D. Two 39s. Neither of them are Ds. Okay, 39. Another 40. Do we need a 40? Yeah, we need a 40D and a 40S. Another 40. 41. What is that? 39. Not the D. Okay, yeah, this is a lot of early stuff. 41. 41. 40. God, 40. 40. Okay. I don't know where this came from, but I wish I had more. What was that? 39. No D. 40. No D. And this is like mixed with brand new stuff. So 40. No D. Okay, I'm going to be keeping most of this. I usually don't just keep some of the old stuff, but this is a lot of the first couple years. Here's a really ugly 53D. Do we need that? I'm looking at my book. You'll have to forgive me. No, I have 53D. Plus that one's kind of ugly. Might toss that one back. 41, 39. Throw that back in here. 41, 41, 40, 39, 41. Hold on, I'll get back to the chat in a second because I am too focused on trying to separate these out correctly right now so that I can go through them in a second and see what we got. 40, 40. What the heck? 40, 39, brand new, well, 2011, 41, throw that over there, 30, is that 39? Yep, 39, 47, we'll look at that, 40, and 41, oh, okay, I know the camera's not super on it, but okay, so we do need a 39D and a 39S. So let's go through these first and see if we have anything. I don't think we do, but I'll check. Okay, so no, just a P, and then I guess I don't see any on here that look. Oh, look, somebody's an ass. Look at that. That's got to be on purpose. Somebody scratched up. And you know what I mean? Like, jerk. Why you gotta scratch? It's a 39. It's old as heck. Why you... Go scratch on something else. No. I think we're gonna... And this, see, this is... That's upsetting. Because... I just got a dump of some of the years that I need things for, and every single one of those 39s is a P. And I already have one. And mine's in probably better shape. Maybe that one. It still has some detail on the hair. Where mine... Actually, I think mine does. We'll look at that later. But that's that. Okay. Let's do these odd ones. 47P. Do we need that? No. Okay. Set that aside. 60D. No, I know we don't need that one. Okay, let's check the 40s. Sorry, hold on. Let me get back to chat real quick because there was a lot going on there. This is awesome. Thank you, Merca. Well, I mean, we don't have that many people in here, but yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah. Well, we try not to. There's been a couple constitutional wins. Why are you an ass, Constitutional? Constitutional's won a couple, and then he bowed out. But that was the other day. So anyway, let me get in here and see on the 40s if we have any mints, because on the 40s we need the D and the S as well. But oh, there's a D. Okay, so we did find one D. These are the P's. Hold on, I'm trying to organize this as best I can. Usually I don't have this many of the same year and things going on. There's another D. Okay. Uh-huh. P. 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 This is, okay. You know, I'll take it. If the rest of the box is lackluster, this is pretty cool. And this just goes to show you, sometimes when you see these old rolls, there's actually, not always, but there's actually stuff in them. And the sad thing here is they were mixed with a couple new coins. Like literally like intermixed throughout the roll. So probably came from someone's collection. Okay, so just the two Ds. All the rest of them are Ps, no S's on the 40s. So let's look at these two and see which one's the best. I'm thinking it's this one because the detail's sharper on the stamping. Everything looks good, right? I mean, for its age. This one has like a little more wear on it. You can kind of see like the rim and the 40s starting to get dulled. So I think we're going to add the first one in, and the back's got a lot more wear on the building. So we'll put that one aside and we will add this one to the book. Come here, book. Press in. There we go. All right. So if I remember when we did the couple nickels before, Constitutional's hilarious. He's obviously not gotten enough sleep from last night. But we found something. I forget what it was, but we added one on that batch of rolls, the extra rolls. 41, what do we need? We need the S on the 41. That's the only thing we need. That's all we're looking for here. Trying to be hopeful. Cross our fingers. Probably not going to get that lucky. This one's got, like, I don't know if those are like feeder lines, but it's got them on the front and it's got them on the back. That one's actually kind of cool. 41, P. I think it's going to be a shutout. Oh, 1D right at the end. But we don't need a D. We already have one, and this one looks a little on the dingy side. I think ours is better. So, it's not much, but this is the first. 38's the first year. 39, 40, and 41. Look at all these. Now, again, a lot of them are P's. This is not crazy. But I'm keeping all of these. Now, wait. There's a couple here that are 47 and 60. 47, 60. I don't know. I guess I'll probably just throw them in with it. But that's a lot of nickels that are going to be hard to find. I mean, they're already kind of hard to find now. They will be such in the future as well, to some degree. So I don't know. Maybe later I can help somebody else out if they're looking for one or something. None of them are like spectacular examples or anything, but I'll take it. They're not exactly easy to come by, especially in these quantities. So somebody dumped Grandpa's coins at the bank again, or at least we think so, right? And then, what, 5 coins. That 53, right? That's dirty. The 47 and the 60, right? I'll put the 53 in there. I know it's dirty, but, I mean, it is still older. But then just 4 random nickels from 2021, 2018, and 2011. So somebody put those in there, but this is something special. So we will set this to the side and throw that in with our nickels. I ran out, so it wasn't intentional. I'm sorry, but you are lucky at the same time, I guess. I didn't drink enough to be hungover. I won't lie to you. I only had a couple of beers, and it was, I'm not going to drink moving forward. That was the whole thing. We're going to swing this out. But I had 3 beers left from what I had on hand, so I drank those slowly over time, last night. And I actually woke up and had like a tinge of a hangover. And then in my mind, I was kind of happy because hopefully everything goes to plan. That should be the last one I have. Now, sometimes you just wake up and you feel like crap, and it can be worse than a hangover without drinking. But, hopeful that at the very least for a very long time, we're going to do this productivity thing. You want to drink? No, don't have a drink. Get to work. Do something. Make a video. Do a post. Write, add to your book that you're writing. Whatever you're doing. Do something else. Do something productive rather than something that's, for lack of a better term, not productive. At least in my eyes. I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about anyone else. You can do what you do. Another 2006, Return to Monticello. No Westwards. I haven't found, you know what I mean. The Bison, the Ocean View, the Louisiana Purchase. What are you? Ground Penny. If you hear my daughter singing, just know that there's nothing I can do about it. I have no idea what I don't understand kids nowadays. And now I understand my parents a little better. Oh, there, finally. Louisiana Purchase. Got one. Yeah, I get them a little bit. I'm not like an old parent, but I don't understand a lot about what's going on with them, that's for sure. What folder am I filling? So I already have the other 2 that go with this set. It is H.E. Harris and Company Jefferson Nickel Book. So this is the 38 to 61. I already have the rest of the Jefferson Nichols of this series, book 2 and book 3, already filled their set. I'm just filling the book. I want the best examples that I can get, but I'm not doing like BU or AU or anything. Like, I'm trying to find examples. I just want a complete set. I did cheat. 2009 P I got from Ringmaster Ray because apparently it's just a really low mintage. And I found a D, but I had, after box and box and box, I hadn't found a P. So I bought one of those, or maybe I bought something, he sent me one, something like that. And then Jason Harvia gave me one that I had. It was somewhere in the, I think it was in the 40, or no, it's the 60, 72, and maybe 69 or something like that. One of them I had, but I had like a really ugly, dirty one with stuff on it. And he got me a better one, and the 72 that I needed. And then the War Nickels. I have War Nickels in my stack. I have a set of War Nickels in a capital holder, but I wanted some for the book. And let's face it, I've been through tons of boxes of nickels. I still have not found a single War Nickel in a bank box. So I knew I was going to have to buy those. So Jason had a set, like a complete set, and I bought them, and I told myself I would look at them and I would put the quote unquote worst ones in the book. And so that's what I did. That happened to be, at least in my opinion, the set that I got from Jason. So I filled the book with those. So I bought a few coins and I bought the War Nickels. So, we have that caveat. But yeah, it's the earliest book for the Jefferson Nickels. And that's why we're struggling, right, to find the stuff for this book, because it's the oldest stuff. It's one of the reasons why, like, I probably won't, like, the Barber. I probably won't ever venture into trying to collect Barbers or Buffalo Nickels, right? It's just such a crapshoot at this point because they're so old. Condition, I guess, doesn't matter when you're trying to put together a set, but as much. But it's so hard because the stuff is so old to gather the set. Like, this is taken me some time, not years, I know, but I worked a 12-er yesterday. I felt hungover this morning, much better now. I have to, actually, you know what? Before I get into this roll, give me a second. We'll start another giveaway. There's 6 of you in here. Why not? Custom. Start another 3-minute giveaway. I'm going to go get another cup of coffee because my coffee's running dry. And that's what got me this morning. And that was the nice thing. Even though I felt like maybe a twinge of hangover, 5 to 10 minutes after I had my coffee, I was fine. So I'm very happy about that. But I'll be right back and enter the giveaway. You have about 2.5 minutes. Good call. Thank you for that. I forgot to hit the mic. Here I am talking and talking and talking. We'll do barber, is what I was trying to say. I got it now. I can hear clearly when your mic is on. Yes, yes, yes. You know, it's my first stream. Give me a break. Right? No. But we'll give this away. It looks like entries are stopped. So we'll get over here. We will pick. Not too many of you in here. Oh, look at that. My boy is stacking up on this. Luckily, he already has a bag somewhere in here. Man. For those of you that are newer to the stream, again, like I try. It's been a pretty good time. We had the 1,000 subs stream, so it was a little more, but these are all the things that I've been giving away over the last few streams. Again, I try to be generous. Actually, there's even more than that. There's a couple still laying there, but I try to be as generous as possible. And that's not to say come over here to, you know, hang out because I'm giving away stuff. But if you enjoy hanging out here, you likely will eventually get something back. So Roadhog, dude, you have, I think it's, we counted, I think you're up to like 11 grams and now a barber done. So I think you're the MVP for this mailing. For sure. Well, I don't know. North Shore got a Morgan. So depends on what you want. But congratulations. And I'll accept a rig giveaway. So I already have Roadhog's information, so that's fine. But well, and that's the thing is I don't generally, I mean, this may change over time, but I don't generally have like a ton of people in here. I had about somewhere between 15 and 20 during my 1,000 subs live stream the other day. And that was a lot. But generally, I have a smaller crowd. So, like I was saying, those that are in here, if you're able, you know, usually have pretty good odds of winning. Thus, why Roadhog has a small stack in his bag. I'm probably going to have to mail that out 2016 in an actual package. I could probably shift it in an envelope, but it's getting to be so much that it'll probably be an actual package because I just don't want anything to happen to it. The envelopes are a little on the iffy side anyway, but if it's just a couple small items like grams and whatnot, I feel pretty confident that they'll get there with the way that I pack them up. But as that begins to increase, I don't want to chance it. 78. Bunch of new stuff. Yeah, the rest of the box might be a little on the lackluster side. We'll see. We'll get through some more of these rolls. Giveaway hog. Hey, I mean, it happens though. Siren, up until Roadhog dethroned her, she was sitting at, I think, 9. She was like our reigning giveaway champion. So it can happen to anybody. That, and I've kind of reserved myself not to send those out like too often. There for a while I was sending them out like every few days, and I've now started to kind of hold them for a couple of weeks. The holidays have kind of forced me to do some of that, but I'm holding them so I can kind of just do it all in one big run now. 2022, no smoking Jefferson. What are you? It's a 64 just with like some really weird toning. Like it sat out somewhere for a long period of time. It's like, it's not luster, it's kind of like dingy, like that gray kind of haze that comes over coins, but not the pretty kind, the starting to look ugly kind. So I put out a video. Was it last night? I think it officially was last night. And I aimed that one at people who have trouble saving money. And it's more of a talking head video, but there's actually some good information and insight in the video. And, you know, I'd be lying to you if I said I'm not trying to, you know, grab an audience that doesn't already watch silver stacking videos. Because going through everything, I started noticing common themes amongst stackers. Hold on. So funny. So funny. Um, to my son's mother, and she was asking me about some stuff, which is fine. And then I'm like, okay, well, yeah, send me the information, blah, blah, blah. You know, I got to get back to my live stream. And she goes, oh, yeah, that's right. I just got, like, you know, some time ago. She's like, that's right. You gave me a notification that you went live, and then I called you like an idiot. Yeah, yeah. Not an idiot, but yeah, like, you should have realized maybe. If it could have been a text message, but it's fine. No big deal. I thank you for hanging in through that. Nothing in that roll. Nothing crazy. Wait, did you place your bets he will turn the mic back on? Yes! Yeah, I did. Sometimes. Sometimes. I was really good about it. I jumped into Frostbite's stream. Was that yesterday? He was doing a quick stream. Constitutional was up there with me. Just kind of got called up. And I was doing a pretty good job during that of attempting to mute my mic, you know, when I wasn't speaking. But that also was because I had kid running around the house being crazy and intermittently loud. So that's more helpful to be cognizant of what you guys are being put through as far as noise pollution. Yeah, so far it's a little... Yeah, we're getting to the lackluster part. I'm seeing a lot of the newer stuff. Again, not a lot of Westwards. I'm starting to wonder if these aren't my rolls or some mix of my rolls because we found some 2006s, but I haven't seen, and the one Louisiana, but usually you see a lot more westwards than this. Caught it, by the way. Ordered the scope. Oh, cool. Yeah, and it should... What is that? Why you look weird? Okay, it's a 2022, but it's just... I don't know what's on it. But it had like a haze. I saw it sticking out. I figured I'd check. Yeah, and you're going to like the scope. I'm guessing you probably... Listen. Yes, I shaved. Is it really? Man. I hate you, Constitutional. Making me all self-conscious. No. Actually, now looking back at it, when I tried to... It wasn't... Okay, it was bad. But I started losing my hair, but I didn't realize it for a while. And so then when I did realize it, I tried to like let it grow like longer, not like comb over. It wasn't that bad, but it was just thinning, you know? And it was obvious it was thinning. And I tried to like let it grow longer a bit and try to hold on to it for a while. And then I remember like I looked at like a picture of myself or something in some, you know, probably not strategic pose, and I was just like, you can just see through my hair to my scalp, like anyway, like it's not helping. And I was just like, okay, all right, it's time to let go. And yes, so now I have shiny head, and I guess I don't mind that. It's better. At first it was weird, but now I look back at pictures of me with hair and I'm like, I look strange, like I don't want hair anymore. I don't know. It is what it is. See, yeah, send me some, please. I never did the long hair. I wanted to, but I couldn't get past that Fifth Beatles, Ramones, insert other people here with that shaggy haircut thing going on. I couldn't get past that stage of looking stupid, in my opinion, to actually get long hair. I wanted to, but I never got to. It can be, Annette. It can be. It just depends, right? And it's really nobody's fault. Now, I knew a guy, and man, poor guy. He was in his 20s, like early 20s, like maybe 23, 24, something like that. And just gone. Gone. All of it. Gone. Just like I'd never seen someone so young, bald, like nothing would grow up here. He had some of this stuff, you know, still kind of going or whatever, but nothing up top. And, you know, he wore a lot of hats and things. But, like, I was like, okay, it's not so bad. You know, I at least got to hold on to some hair a little longer. Plus, by now, all the sides and the stuff that does still grow well, it's all like a salt and pepper anyway. I'm starting to actually get gray in my mustache. Like, it doesn't bother me as much, but, you know, I guess I'm going to start looking my age here soon. Yeah, so it can always be worse. That's what I've been trying to tell myself over about the last decade. When stuff happens, doesn't matter what happens. Someone's got it worse, and specifically in regards to whatever it is that you're going through or you're talking about. Now, unfortunately, the thing that sucks about this is somewhere nobody's got it worse. Right? In regards to a specific situation, like somebody's definitely got it worse, but it's objective, right? You tell yourself that to kind of give yourself the strength to get through or to persevere. But yeah, just like when you have a bad day, theoretically and hopefully the next day will be better. You know, try to get through it unscathed and then try again tomorrow. I can show you one. I don't have one, but I'll show you. Give me a second. Let me clear these off, and we'll look one up on probably eBay. It's going to be about the only place I think I can find one. But give me a second, and then I'll switch you guys over. Da, da, da. Why is my phone? Why, when I'm streaming, do I become so popular? Okay. Oh, man. Okay, I know what that is. Okay, so... Okay, they don't have it. Here's one on eBay. It's sold for, and this is a good example. Let me get over, bring you guys on with me. Boom. Okay, so this one sold on eBay for $50. It did sell for this. I'm on the actual different page, but we can go back and see when. But this is what it looks like. So it looks like a doobie coming out of his mouth, or like he's blowing smoke, or like, however, there are some different grades. This one is a 2022P. And you actually on this one see whatever that is also on his eye, where like, it's kind of like a die clash, or not no, not a die clash, but it's something. I don't know, because it looks like it's embedded into the coin. So the die has started to tear away from itself or something, to actually cause this and imprint onto the coin. And that sold for $50. And they are varying degrees. This one's kind of on the bad side. There are some smaller ones where you'll just start to see that trail of stuff kind of coming out of his mouth, and it's not nearly as thick as that. But yeah, that's what the 2022 Smoking Jefferson looks like. Yeah, and that one just sold. So you're still looking at my screen. You see here ended December 21st for $50 plus 5 ship. So that's pretty good. Okay, I'll get back to the actual screen. Yeah, so, and that's why, like I was saying earlier at the beginning of the stream, I did look through some of my 2022P bankrolls that I found. I did open some of them up and look through, but I made, I don't know, like $1 or $2 maybe, selling 5-roll sets of unopened 2022P bankrolls on eBay, for people that want to open them up and likely look for that error. And, if they want to take that chance for a couple extra bucks, it's like a coin lottery ticket, right? They pay a few extra bucks for the nickels. They have their face value at minimum, so they're really only wagering a couple of bucks. And like you saw there, if they happen to actually find like a good one, or, heaven forbid, like a couple, because theoretically there may be, if you find one, you might find more than one, likely, they're going to make out very well. So that's why a lot of people do that. Plus, I had them kind of low. I think I sold it for like $12 plus, what I thought was going to be the shipping charge, give or take. And it ended up being pretty close. So after eBay's fees and stuff, I don't know. I probably made like $2 or something on it, maybe, or like $1.50. But still, I mean, that's cool. I don't mind. I was just gonna open them anyway, so why not just kind of pass that along? Because, like I said, some people don't see that stuff in their area. It depends. Me being here in the Midwest, right next to Pennsylvania, you know, we get a lot of the mint stuff from Philadelphia. If you're in Denver or Colorado, I guess in general, that kind of area, you're going to get a lot of Denver stuff. If you're in on the West Coast, right, you're going to see S mint marks, not the proofs and the special stuff that's not in circulation, but when and if the S's actually are in circulation, you're going to see those much more frequently because that's the area they kind of get dumped in. They don't take S mint mark bank rolls and ship them to New York. They just kind of let them go out into circulation. Yeah, you can't miss that, Jay. I mean, well, there's varying degrees, no, but if you see one, you see one. Like, it looks like, oh, what happened to that coin? And then after you really look and see that it's like a 2022P, it's kind of apparent. That one's got a lot of nice luster, but it's got some dings on it. Plus, it's like a 2014, like nothing too special. 64, 88. I don't know. I mean, none of these coins are looking super familiar to me. Like, sometimes you'll see something that looks familiar, like a damaged coin or whatever. It's hard to tell, but just by the amount of westwards that I'm not seeing in these rolls, I almost wonder if I have looked through them before. Like it's part of the box that I rolled up and then they just sat on it. And unfortunately, I got it back. Because I would expect to see a lot more westwards in this. But we still got a lot of box to go. Is that 2008? Yes. 2007. 74. Doesn't matter, even if it's still entertaining. Yeah, well, yeah, it's rough. Once you start scoping everything, it's not rough, but I did a couple of streams not long ago on pennies, just dedicated to basically putting stuff on the scope to kind of look them over. It was a lot of the nicer coins that I have. I looked through a lot of Wheaties and different things for doubling and errors, and I think I found some here. I will, or we think we found some things. I don't know why these are sitting here. They're wheat pennies. I don't know. We'll hold those off. I know this one, if I remember right, had something that we thought we had like doubling on. So we'll look just real quick so you can kind of see. Come on, light. It's in a flip, so that kind of affects things a bit. The light hates us. So, okay, nothing on the date. Maybe this one was up on the In God We Trust. Oh, yeah, I remember this one now. So hold on, let me get in here a little closer and still to a point to where hopefully I can move this flip a bit. And I'll show you some of the kinds of things that you're looking for. So, again, the light kind of sucks. But you can see it a little bit on the U there. Here, let me go to the large cam. So now you can see it a little more clearly. You can see it on the U where there's that line that kind of goes around it at the bottom. And then you see it on the verticals. You see it just off to the side. You see it on the R a little bit there inside the hole. And at the bottom of the legs, you can kind of see what looks like doubling. The T there, where the top looks like it has two tiers. The E kind of at the bottom of each of those I don't know what you call them, legs, shelves. I don't know what they're called, but you can kind of see it there and a little bit on the W. Same kind of thing. The D has it as well. You can kind of see it. Again, the light, I'll try to turn it down just a touch. It adjusts like automatically, so it's a crapshoot. But you can kind of see what I'm talking about there. Like the D. Inside the D, you see a clear line and then, more to it. And the O, you can kind of see it as you go around, like that's doubling. And that's not machine doubling, that's die doubling. What likely happened on this one was there was a double die and they did something to fix it, and this is probably one of the early ones, because as they use that die and it begins to wear in, these lines that you see here that indicate doubling become less apparent, and then it just looks normal. That's the whole theory. You think machine doubling? I mean, it might be, but it's weird the way that it is. And I don't know for sure. But just, it's not on everything. And Coin Junkie says, and he is a little better at some of this than me. So, and he could be right. But these are indications of doubling. And there is machine doubling, which is what they say basically comes from variations in the machining process of stamping the coins, and that's not really valuable. And then there's die doubling, where, like I said, they maybe noticed problems, or they went in to fix a die or kind of refurbish it, and in that, the new stuff that they carved out was not in the same exact location as the old stuff, or like you're kind of looking here and seeing that some of this has something going on. Again, is it machine doubling? I don't know. There are double dies on these, and I want to say I looked them up, and we saw similar listings as DDOs. But again, Coin Junkie knows a little more about some of this than I do. So we'll leave it at that. And yeah, the L in Liberty kind of has something there. But machine doubling is usually everything's off by like the same shift in the doubling, usually. And die doubling is a little different. And this kind of falls in that weird area where, it may be one or the other. I want to say it's probably actually doubled. I think I found similar listings on, I think it was Variety Vista as a DDO. But, anything's possible. I'm always fallible. I could be wrong. And I'm just feeling my way around this as well. So Junkie's been at this kind of stuff a lot longer than me. So what was it on this one that I saw that looked weird? I don't know. Or maybe it was just in the... Oh, this one, no. This one's not double. That's just one of those flips that had gotten wet that I need to redo. I have a couple other examples. You can go back and look at that live stream if you have time, sometime. And, I mean, there's not a lot in there, but there were a couple points where we found stuff like that, where we thought they may be doubled. But it's tricky. And Variety Vista is a good website where a lot of people upload actual photos of DDOs and DDRs and repunch mint marks and different things, so you can kind of see and hopefully compare your coin. And they have them all split by denomination, year, coin type, so you can kind of look stuff up and see what's going on with it, and maybe try to identify. And you're right, Junkie, that probably could be. There's 4 types. I don't know. I'm sure there are, but it's always like it's a battle to play. I mean, Someone told me, I forget who it was. Maybe it was, I don't know if it was Ruler or if it was somebody, but somebody told me, and I think some of you may have been here. They said they submitted something to, like, I don't know, like a Facebook group of experts, and said, hey, here's a picture of this coin. Is this a double die or whatever? 2006p, we'll keep it. And they said, no, that's machine doubling, blah, 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 blah. Now, and again, this is third-party information from a story I was told by somebody else, but I'm going to repeat it. Said person then responded back to this supposed panel of people who, theoretically give advice on these things, and said, well, that's funny because this is the exact picture that one of your admins posted a while back that they said and claimed that it was a double die, and I don't know, I'm assuming at that point that either nobody questioned it or everybody agreed or whatever that was, but supposedly. So I'm not saying don't trust anybody, but do your research, try to look around, see if you can find pictures to confirm, and then really, unfortunately, in a lot of cases, the only way to know for sure is to send it in for grading as a variety, and see what happens, or as a DDO or DDR, whatever the case might be, and see what happens. Is that always going to be worth it financially? I mean, that's a whole nother gamble that you got to take. But I still look for things like that. I'm trying to get better at it, but it takes some of these people years to develop the knowledge and skills to kind of look at these things and go, yep, that's doubling, that's not doubling. I mean, people, even coin graders, they're constantly having to learn new coins, new things, new errors as things happen and come out. Like, it's a continual process. The Red Book, I have one. It's up here on a shelf I can't really get to right now. The Red Book is good, and it does tell you about some varieties that are, well known and kind of public knowledge. But as far as errors, it doesn't have anything. So the Red Book is good for knowing mintages, knowing what a coin in a certain grade, like a ballpark, because like I already have the 2023 and I bought that like 4 months ago or something, at one of the coin shops near me. So it's kind of outdated already. One of the best things is PCGS. Now again, on that, you're getting graded pricing for a PCGS slabbed coin. So like NGC is going to be slightly less valuable than what you see listed on PCGS, just because those slabs generally don't go for as much. But the PCGS online price guide, I mean, actually, in my opinion, it's kind of better than the Red Book. The Red Book still has its uses, and I still like it, and I still look at it. But PCGS has, like, if an error has been graded, like a DDO, and it's like, I don't know, FS DDO 01 for a coin, and they've graded one, you can go on there. Here, we'll go. And look. See, I got it bookmarked. And so you go in here, and let's just go to like Lincoln Cents. We'll go to the moderns. We'll see if we can find one with a variety. I think 69 has some doubling. Maybe it's the D. Yeah, so here you go. I did switch you over, right? Yes. Okay, so you know, again, you saw how long it took me to get here. Again, I had it bookmarked, but come down to like 69D, right? You hit this little, if you see the plus, there are more underneath. Like if you look at the 68S, there's nothing else there. So what they're saying is, or at least as far as their online thing is concerned, there's not much else other than just a regular 68S. But if you see the plus, you can click it down and it'll show you what else they have in here that they've graded. And this is No FG FS901. So then you can click this and actually see if somebody has gotten the TrueView done. I think that's what this is called. Excuse me, let me drink some coffee. So, this is a FS or No FG FS901. You can see the date. You can look at the mint mark and kind of look at the characteristics of the coin in this scoped, we'll call it a scoped view, right? And then you can come over here, and in this case, that's weird. That's super weird. Junkie, are you seeing that? Okay, so I'll tell you what I know about No FG. And this is just what I know. Again, I'm no expert. But I was always told if this would stay up for 5 seconds, I was always told you couldn't see anything on the FG. Like there had to be no traces of it left. So what happened here is die maintenance and polishing and upkeep and all of that, and through that process the FG basically disappeared off this die in that. And you got the floating roof, which is another characteristic of it. Usually there's two little lines on either side of that plateau at the top of the building, you know, for the roof, and on this they've been polished away. That's another characteristic of it. But on the FG, I was always told there couldn't be any sign of an FG. And that's weird because I clearly see the G, like right there. I mean, I don't know, call me crazy, but I see it, like plain as day, the FG. Or maybe my mind's playing tricks on me and that's just the discoloration, but it looks like I can see it. I'll say that. But yeah, that's what they're saying. So you can come on here and look. So, and then you have the different colors. We were on brown. There's red brown for the same coin, and then there's red. So then here, this, there you go. 1969D, right? This is a red, so it's MS66. It's high grade. You see that floating roof again where you don't see those lines anymore. But this is what I'm talking about. When you look down here, you don't see any trace of FG. That, to my knowledge, is more of what you're kind of looking for. And we can look at the red-brown one, if it'll load up. And that one looks pretty good, too. I don't see any FG on that. Again, it's a little dirtier. But I don't see any traces. But that brown, they're saying it's an MS64, but I clearly see a G there. I don't know, but they're the experts and I'm not. But I like the PCGS. I'll come back. I'll bring you guys back. I like the PCGS online there because you can kind of see the coin if people have got the TrueView. And that's helpful. Again, not every error is going to be on there, and actually most errors are not going to be on there. It's very limited, but it's a good resource, and the pricing is there to kind of give you a ballpark of what a graded example in that grade graded by PCGS would go for currently, and it's actually up to date. I don't know how often they update it, but if you see it on there, that's current pricing. So that's something to think about. I would still get a red book. Another Return to Monticello. But the Red Book is more like, I don't know, a traveling guide. You would take a Red Book with you, maybe if you go to a coin show and you're looking around. Again, not like a hard line on pricing, but if like you see something, and you want to like step back to the side or over off to the edge just to kind of look and see kind of what it's going for and what they're selling it for, versus what the Red Book says. That'll give you an idea, but the Red Book is retail pricing, if I'm not mistaken. And there's like a Blue Book, maybe? And that's more of like wholesaler pricing, and it's kind of the same thing. It's, dealer pricing, what they should pay for the same coins when they're out shopping. But again, in this day and age, it's outdated, right? Because it's made in 2022 for 2023. It just kind of, it's slow, whereas we move fast now. Kids getting crazy in the other room, playing games and yelling at people. But yeah, so it's a crapshoot. There's also Gray Sheets. It's more like a magazine kind of thing, and also I moved everything around, and I don't know what happened to my Coin World magazine. And I haven't signed up yet. It's one of the things I haven't done. That I'm pretty sure I plan on doing now. But Coin World also kind of has something similar to the Gray Sheets, where it's got like a price guide in it, and that comes out monthly. Or at least it can come out monthly. They do a couple different frequencies of some of their things. They have I think like a weekly maybe. Something like that. It's like an excerpt. It's not like a full magazine. But 80. I thought that said 40 for a second. So you can look at those too. There's a few good resources, and a Red Book is nice, but it's just a guide. It's just a very general guide. It can help you, identifying key dates and things like that, because of the mintages and stuff. But again, and unfortunately, another 2006 Return to Monticello. Most of that information can be found online, and I would say easier. That's just me. Yeah, North Shore, I probably would. At least until you get your feet wet. Now, like I said, if you need something and you don't want to be on your phone, or I don't know what's worse at a coin show, because I'm not a big coin show person. I don't think I've ever been to one. If I have, I don't remember it. But I don't know what's worse at a coin show. Pulling out your phone and looking something up, or pulling out a Red Book and looking something up. I don't know if... I know coin shops do not like it when you're in their shop and you're looking at prices. It's like a big kind of faux pas. And some people may respond very negatively to that. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends. If it were me and it was my shop, it would depend how the person was going about it. If they're literally going through bunches of things and they're looking at prices for every single thing, maybe I'd be like, what are you doing? And then if they were trying to haggle me based on those prices, that's where most of them start to get kind of offended, in my understanding, is because their pricing is their pricing. They're trying to do what they can. They're trying to be fair, keep the lights on, pay any employees they have, their overhead, whatever. Those expenses are, they have a business to run. So for you to come in there and go, oh, well, there's this guy on eBay that has that coin for, I don't know, $10 less or whatever, you know, they don't respond well to that because they're not eBay. And they don't know where that guy got that. And they don't know why he's offering it at that price, right? But they know what they paid for something and what they have to try to get out of it. So, especially, yeah, if you don't have, now my guy, if I go in there and I look up something, he doesn't get offended because he doesn't generally have a bunch of crazy stuff. And actually, recently, I looked something up and that he didn't know what it was. It was a piece of jewelry with a coin in it. And after doing enough research and kind of grasping at straws, I was able to identify it as like a, I don't know the year now. I think it was like a 1551, I want to say Hungarian, like Madonna and Child. And I looked it up. I finally found it. 2022p, no smoking. And I was able to identify what this coin in this pendant was, but the problem was, and what I kind of told him was, yeah, you got this coin in there, and yes, they go for a decent amount of money, usually, but the ones in the pendants, and his looked like this, are often by the jewelers that throw them in there because, again, a jeweler is not a numismatist, so they don't care like we do. Number one, the coin's probably been cleaned before it got put into its setting. And number two, in these coins, they're older, 1550s, so they would often plate them in silver to make them look nicer for the pendant because it's a gold setting around it and usually like a gold chain, to try to make it look as nice as possible. And so all of us know, you just pretty much zapped. There's another 2006. I am starting to think maybe this is a box before I really started keeping the 2006 as part of the Westward. Maybe this is one of my boxes. And I am just running a futile attempt at looking for coins. But you never know. We'll keep going. I don't care. But yeah, I was able to identify that for him. I gave him the information on it, so now he could speak on it a little better. I even showed him pricing, so he doesn't get upset if I look stuff up in his store, but he would get upset if I started trying to haggle him on a price based on something I saw online, because he's not online, and he can't, I'm not saying he can't compete with those prices, but like I said earlier, you just never know what somebody paid for something, where they got it. I mean, heck, for all anybody knows, they got it for free as part of a gift, and they're just looking to get some money out of it, and that's why they've priced it so low. I mean, I do that too sometimes. I get things in lots, and I've listed some things on eBay, and I try to be competitive in my pricing, and I don't know if I'm technically taking a loss on it or not, but I'll list it as the lowest cost one on eBay, because I don't know what I paid for it. So that happens a lot too. So I don't know what's worse, pulling out a red book or pulling out your phone. Probably neither one is going to be, if you just do it like once or twice, maybe at a coin show, probably not going to, and not like directly in front of anybody, probably not going to be a huge deal. Step away from the booth, go over somewhere, look up what you got to look up and come back. But in a coin shop, most places are not going to respond well to you trying to price check their inventory. You'd probably be better off just trying to haggle them a bit and see if you can get a couple of bucks off, rather than, try to offend their sensibilities by making them compete with eBay prices or whatever else have you. In 50 years, Hector says he has been to one show. Well, I'm going to fix that because I've only been to no shows. I mean, well, I say a couple. At least one or two that I know of for sure. And I'm going to get my feet wet a little bit at some coin shows and see how that goes. I'm actually very curious because there's one, as I've talked about before, in the town just north of me where they actually make Coin World magazine. And because of that, again, it's probably not going to be the biggest show, right? Because it's not a very big town. We're not out in the middle of nowhere, but we're not like a major town. So it's going to be interesting because that nickel is gone to me. I dropped it on the floor. Because that's where they make Coin World. So I'm curious, number one, to meet some collectors like literally in my direct area. I don't know of too many that I could like drive and talk to. And to kind of see what they have because this is where we make Coin World. So you would think there'd be a lot of like more serious collectors and dealers. And I'm very curious to see. I'll probably try to, I mean, as long as I can and nobody objects, I guess, I'll try to film that and kind of see what that looks like and take you guys at least along for part of the ride or edit a video from it. But I'm very curious to see because I have a good idea what most coin shows kind of look like. But this one, it's either going to have not very much or it's going to have some really cool stuff. I feel like it's a toss-up. And also, I'm kind of hoping... I got to remember what the guy's name from Coin World is. He's the one that does the podcast. And I try to listen to it as often as I can, but I usually do it in the car on long drives, so I'm not always up to date. I want to say it's John something. Don't quote me. But I kind of wonder if you know, it's where he's somewhere close to there, right? And I wonder if he's gonna like find his way there, and maybe I could introduce myself, something like that, or even get like a quick 5-minute conversation or like some tips from him directly as far as, you know, a stacker turned numismatist, you know, and any advice because what is that? What is that? Is that actually a chip or... Yeah, I think that's just like a chip. I don't think that's anything crazy. Okay. You know, maybe I can get some advice from him directly if he happens to be there and I run into him. It's just, yeah, I'm trying to get my feet wet on that side a little bit. Probably not for my best interest or the best interest of my bank account, but, ooh. What the heck are you? Road nickel. Really bad road nickel. 19... I mean, it doesn't really matter. That can't be 33, right? 83 maybe? I don't know. It really doesn't matter, I guess, in the shape that it's in. Something. There's no mint mark on the back, so it's not that old. Hey, there we go. Keel boat. Yeah, so these probably aren't my nickels. I feel a little better. 2002, 2019. Coin shows are going to be fun, I think. It'll be nice to like actually talk to people, run around, see what kind of things people have to offer, and see some of those oddities that like you know you just don't see every day in person, you know. And a lot of times, you know, you can gain an affinity for something too. There's been a couple of coins that I wouldn't like. The what do I have? It's like a 2019, I believe, W reverse proof shield scent. Now, I hate the shield scents, not only because they're clad, but just because they're ugly, I feel. It's my opinion. They're ugly. I hate them. I don't know who. I literally have no idea. Like the shield, whatever. I don't even have any. Yeah, I do have. It's ugly. I don't see the symbolism. I don't see the point. It looks plain. Like, this is the best we could do. I guess that's where I'm at with this. I hate the shield sense, right? But, and it's put up, so I'm not going to go drag it out. And plus, it's still in like the mint plastic or whatever. But that reverse proof W shield scent is gorgeous. I mean, I still hate the design, but the coin is awesome. And I would have never even considered purchasing one, but I saw one when I was at Silvertown. They had the envelopes, and I'm like, what's that? They're like, oh, it's a reverse proof shield scent. And I'm like, I don't really like this. And the guy goes, oh, have you seen them? And I was like, no, but, I don't. And he, not listening to me, continued to grab the envelope and kind of open it out and put it in my hand. And then after I really looked at it, I was like, okay, wait a minute. This actually does look good. And so there's some coins like that you're not going to know really whether or not you like them or not until you see them in person. There's others that it's clear. Who was it? I think it was Jason Harvia. The other night, I want to say it was Jason. If it wasn't, my apologies. But I think it was Jason, was saying that he got the Fiji reverse proof Morgan the other day. I had no idea this existed. It's from Fiji. It's a reverse proof, honorary Morgan. It's that design, but made by the Fiji Mint. But it's gorgeous. And they make the peace dollar too. And it does say Fiji and some things on it, but the rest of it is spot on and gorgeous. They're expensive, but when you hear reverse proof Morgan, if you even partially like Morgan, you're going to like it. And I've not seen one in person, but even looking at the pictures online, I know I want one of those coins. It's going to be who knows how long before I actually get one. But, stuff like that you kind of know. But like that reverse proof penny, I would have never considered. Even if I saw it online, I probably would have just said it was cool, maybe, and moved on to see a picture of it. But to hold it in your hand and actually see the way the light hits it and stuff completely changed my outlook on it. Now, I still hate shield scents, but I'm probably gonna see if I can get some more of those reverse proofs to kind of add to my collection. We'll see. What is today? Today's Sunday? Hold on. My brain's all messed up from these holidays. Yeah, it's Sunday. I'm kind of happy for the holidays to be over. Like, I really am. It's not like the stress or anything. It's just like a little bit of the hustle and bustle. Everybody's focused on like shopping and this and that. And it's not that I don't like it. It's just that it seems like super busy and everybody's got stuff going on and things. I kind of am looking forward to like a back to kind of business as usual kind of time frame. I got to get this darn tree put up after the stream probably. I'm going to finish the stream, finish this box if I quit shut up and just get through these nickels, and then I'll probably put up the tree, do a couple other things, take the little one out to dinner, and then I'm going to film some more videos tonight. Not a lot in these nickels. And actually, yeah, we're running kind of slow on it. Christmas lights and multitasking. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I won't do the Christmas lights and stuff. The decorating, it's too much. I'm not gonna say it's too much work. I just don't want to do it on top of whatever else I may or may not have going on. Like, I'm good. I don't need that. Now that almost looks familiar. I don't know. I think I've seen that coin before. Maybe these are mine. I don't know. It's possible. Hi, Mira. What's up? Kyra. Kyra Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Does your dog need to go outside? She's looking at me funny. Like she's sad. And like she needs to go to the bathroom. And then ask yourself this question. Does she have food and water? Child,
huh?
Does she have food and water?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. You gotta keep them on their toes. She wanted the dog. I'm trying to get her to take care of said dog. There's another 2006. I just need to swing through some of these earlier ones. There's an old one. 62. Not old enough for a book. 2007. Alright. I found in those little rolls I was going through of pennies last night, I found a half decent 1940 wheat. Just kind of randomly in there. That was kind of nice. Only wheat that I found in those rolls, but it's still nice to find one. Hector, it looks like maybe you're heading out. Thank you very much for spending the time with us. I appreciate it. Very much so. What is that? Is that normal? I guess it is, but that line looks... What is that, 94? Huh. There's a decent 77 D with a lot of luster on it. Again, the scope and the light never really do it super great justice, but it looks pretty. I'm gonna keep that aside. Maybe I can upgrade the book. This, why does that look weird to me? Okay, the FS is there, but it's like, I don't know if it's worn off or like something, but that, even that line looks super heavy compared to some of the other coins. It's just a 94, but it just looked a little weird. Ooh, a 41. Now we're getting some old stuff, but it's a 41p. We can set that aside and throw that in that roll with all the other 40s. Well, 39 and 40s. 61D. Is it an upgrade? Most likely not. I kind of think it is. It's a little on the dirtier side than the one that we got. Actually, yeah, because the one we have has like a really light ring of death on it. So I'll show you. It's real light, but it's kind of there. Yeah, you see it like right there a little bit. So we got an upgrade. Get rid of that one and throw this one in. It's, again, it's a little on the dirtier side, but it doesn't have that ring of death. And it's not light years nicer, but slightly nicer than the one that we had. That's always nice. 77, 2021, da 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 da. 17. I'll get through these, I promise. What are you? 64. I gotta look at the mintage for 64 because I see 64s all the time in nickels, just constantly. Probably fill buckets with them. They must have minted a ton. You look old. 64D. All right. We're about halfway through the box. I'm back to listening to the stream. I'm visiting my mom in Ontario. Oh, cool. The land of Canada. Hey, while you're up there, get me some of that Canadian silver. I actually started from Coin Junkie. And we'll see how this goes, moving forward. Not a huge part of my stack, but I started grabbing some of the Canadian 50%. Again, nothing that you want to. There's another 2006. Nothing that you want to, stack heavy, right? I mean, I guess if you're Canadian, yeah, that's your constitutional, right? But it is only 50%, but it's kind of cheap. You can get deals on it. And yes, again, your weight is higher than, any other form of silver for the most part, except 40% in war nickels. But the cost, right now, constitutional down here carries a premium. 1941, but it's a P. Not for the book. But we'll put it in that roll with all those others we got. So, for that reason, I figured if I have so much 40%, and I don't have a lot of nickels, but I have a decent amount of war nickels, why not grab some 50%? It's better than 40% because there's more silver content. So I picked some up. I've started gathering some. Here's a 61. We don't need any. It's a 61D. Oh, that's the one we just upgraded to, but this has a lot of chatter and stuff on the rim. So I think ours is better even though it's dirty. But yeah, I kind of just thought about it in my head, okay, well, why not? Why 40% and not Canadian 50%? It's Canadian, but theoretically, the conversion's easier to do, right? For a coin shop or anyone that you may sell it to, it's 50% silver. 50% of whatever spot is, at minimum, and then add any kind of premium or whatever that may look like. 59... D. Nope, we got the D. We just need the 59. Darn it. And it doesn't look horrible. It's got some, I don't know, something like heavy wear marks or something, whatever that black is, all over it. But encouraging, we're starting to find some older stuff. So hopefully stuff got tossed into the bottom of the bag. Or rolls or whatever, and we're gonna find some of that as we go. Oh, well, yeah, I bet you do. And it's gotta be, I don't know, I'll have to do a video on that. The conversion, well, not the conversion, but the, a price comparison for what we'll call constitutional silver. Let's not offend our friend. But constitutional Canadian versus US and the prices, and like, should you stack Canadian? Like, it's just right there. It's not like it's not widely known in the US. Maybe it's a good deal. Now, is a coin shop going to penalize you for selling Canadian? I don't know, but we could try to find that out too. I really wish. I mean, not really. I mean, I guess, sort of. But I wish there were more coin shops in my area so I could get like a litmus test. But I travel enough. It'll take me a while. But I might be able to get around to a few of the different shops that I have stopped at and, see when I travel and ask them, But the problem there is Spot's going to move like crazy in between those questions. So I'll have to like record what Spot's at and what they said and how much, like the percentage of difference between what Spot was and what they said they'd buy it for, versus other. The analysis can still be done. It's just going to be a little trickier and take a lot more time because there's another 2006. There's a lot of those. There's a really nice 86, but it's got a couple nicks on it. Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I mean, I bought this just so I wouldn't have to constantly worry about a pocket piece. I always have this bracelet on now, and I've really come to like it. I'm actually, once things calm down, we get into the new year, and I kind of get hopefully settled into whatever else I have going on. I'm going to get a hold of Kevin and see if I can get him to make me another. This time, though, I'm going to try to pick the round that goes on top. 62, that's just outside of our book. But the one thing I'm still 100% unsure about is if you look at this thing, look at that. The round's bent. Like, and it's done well. And I don't know how he did it. There's a ding right here on the rim, but I think I did that, like, as I'm wearing it. I think I probably dinged it on something, because when I first got it, I don't believe that was there. But I know silver's not the hardest thing in the world, but I have no idea how he bent this round like this without damaging it like crazy. I mean, I'm sure it's not exactly magic, but you get what I'm saying? Like, it's actually pretty cool, because without that, it wouldn't be a very good bracelet. It had to be kind of formed, right? And it's actually pretty cool. So I think next time, maybe, and again, I don't know, at least I don't know about this one, but I'm going to see if I can, like, source, if he'll let me, I don't know, like, send him a round that I actually want to be the showpiece of the bracelet, and then still have him make it for me. Try to do something like that. Or if he happens to have a selection on hand, I'll take a look at like what he has and maybe choose from that. But I've already thought about, if he can do this, you could even do like a bracelet Merc dimes, I would think, or quarters. The Washington quarters aren't nearly as cool, unfortunately. Or, I don't know, walkers, like a couple, I don't know. You get my, like, you could do more with it. So, that's going to be on my to-do list, is to get another one. That way I can have like a matching set and carry around 4 ounces of silver with me wherever I go. I really want a gold katana. I'm sure he can make more. And it's super cool. I mean, it really is. I know the camera's not doing it justice, but it's so sweet. And the camera just hates me because it's trying to focus on the wall. But yeah, I mean, as soon as I saw this thing, I knew I wanted it. That's what'll get you. Sometimes is when you see something, and it's just one of those like, no, I have to have it, I guess, but I want to have it. That's what'll get you sometimes, especially because in most of those cases, it's not run-of-the-mill stuff, and usually it's not cheap either. We could be talking about coins, we could be talking about, hand pours or custom pieces like that. I mean, it could be anything, but it's usually going to cost you a bit, and it's not exactly economical stacking. But I have been trying to get more of these kind of display pieces. Again, like I'm sort of getting it felt out a bit, but another 64. I redid the work desk. I have a couple of things over there. It's not on camera, obviously, but I have a couple things there. That way, when I'm sitting there and I'm going about my business, whatever, or work is pissing me off and I'm stressed out or whatever, I can kind of look. I got my kids on the wall I can glance over at. I got some silver and a couple of pieces there kind of off to the side. And it just like, oh, yeah, remind me again why I put up with this? Oh, yeah, the shiny. Right. So I'll continue to persevere through this because it provides me not only with, food and water and the money I need to survive, another 2006, and feed my kids and all of those things, but it also helps me buy shiny, stack silver, Sometimes you need a reason not to stress out, and I guess that it kind of helps center me. And so I've tried to put some more of those pieces on my desk so that I have that reminder within eyeshot. Like, oh yeah, that's why I do this. I like my job too, but it's high pace, a little high strung. Another 2006. Finding a lot of those. Now I'm starting to think these really are maybe my rolls that I've looked through before. Here's a 60D. Kyra Elizabeth. Is the dog inside? I forget what I was saying. Yeah, that 60 doesn't look like it's probably going to be an upgrade, so we're just going to pass over it. But, oh, what are you? Really old, dirty 1970. I can't tell. I see so many coins. It would strike me as odd, though. Like I said earlier, I haven't taken anything back to this bank in a while. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. But the fact that I'm not finding a lot of the Westward. Oh. Really? Seriously? Again, nothing super special, but it's a road penny. Or not penny. 68S mint mark. But it's a road nickel. It's been beat the hell up. That sucks. I'm gonna toss it back. I don't want it. 2006. 2006. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is some of my stuff from before. It seems like it with all the 2006s that I'm finding. You're old. What are you? 1940. Not a... It's just a P. Not a D. We'll put it up there, though. Louisiana. There we go. Louisiana purchase. Getting there. Come on, 35%. Yeah. I still have not ever. I don't... And that's what I don't get, man. Like, some of these people I watch... you know, some of the other hunters, and or I'll see the shorts on YouTube and different things, and they're like, oh look, another war nickel. What, another? Can I get one, please? Just please? Like I said, I have the sneaking suspicion that there's a bunch of coin roll hunters in and around the Midwest. I just have this feeling. And, this probably could be said about generally everywhere. But I think that's the case. And so maybe my finds are not as great because maybe there's more competition in my region, we'll call it. I don't think there's a lot of competition at my bank, or my banks, I guess I should say. But I know I don't seem to have these amazing finds very often like some of these other people and channels do. I had, not long ago, remember, those customer wrapped rolls with the mint wrap, Sacagawea, and presidential dollars and things. That was really good. There was, what was that? It was like 940s or something. And 490s, I think, if I remember. Something weird like that, where the numbers were kind of flip-flopped. And then I gave a couple away. There's a pretty decent 82D. It's not that old, but we'll put that up there with our pretty things. Trying to take what we can get. 2020, 2022... 2012. So there was that, but that customer wrap stuff, and it was obvious, right? Because we had the mint wrap stuff, the presidential dollars, there was, and I forget what, I know what the silver looked like. I know there were some other coins, in that. I can't remember if we found anything too crazy in any of those. But it had to be some form of collection dump of some kind, right? So, I mean, while I still kind of count that, and yes, there was a bunch of 61D. Why do we keep... And this one looks actually pretty good. I think we get to upgrade that dirty one finally. Yeah, and it's got more detail. Sweet. I mean, I count it, right? Of course I count it. But it's not really like roll hunting. You know what I mean? Because it's like a dump. That doesn't happen regularly. It's not likely to happen again anytime soon. It's like happenstance. Man, we're finding so many 2006s. So... I don't know. Like, what is going on with this? 1990D, but it's just on fire. Luster, not a lot of wear. I haven't looked at the back yet. Oh, yeah, we will keep you. I don't really see any large blip. That might even be full steps. Hold the phone. I don't know what full steps looks like, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm no. Oh, is that a nick? Whatever. I don't know. That's hard to tell. There's some damage to the steps. For sure. Very light damage to the steps. But there's a lot of steps there. We'll put that up in our pretty stuff. That one looks really good. So hold on. Let me get to the chat. I hope those coin roll hunters stay out of my Illinois counties. I'm going to have to get creative. Moving forward, like Big Flip said, like, no, I'm going somewhere, traveling, and calling a bank up there and saying, hey, order me this, I'll come pick it up in 2 weeks or something, and see if I can pull some of that off, because I only really moved to quarters out of necessity because I was having so much trouble getting halves. I've only been really hunting quarters. It was predominantly halves and the occasional other thing if I couldn't get anything else like nickels or whatever have you. I really only moved to the quarters out of desperation because I knew there were so many state quarters and all these other things. Like, it was like, that's not, to me at the time, that wasn't like coin roll hunting. I want to just flip through them like you do kind of with halves and get through them and be done. I wasn't looking for errors, varieties, any of this other stuff. I was just really looking for silver. So I wasn't really keeping anything like I do now either. So it was just kind of like running through them. But then I have been having so much trouble getting halves that I started hunting quarters. Do you have any halves? No. Okay, I'll take quarters. You know, whatever. And I found some silver, but, you know, nothing in those to probably write home about. Couple silver quarters and dimes and such. So Da Vinci says, I picked up some rolls of quarters and dimes from my bank to search after I got them. They decided to mention they came from a guy who searches rolls and brings the rest back in. So I already had them in hand, still searched them, but was only looking for constitutional silver. Yeah. So, and that's the other thing. Different people, I will take search stuff because different people, now granted, I would like to think anyone looking for errors would know enough about coins to know which ones are silver, right? And probably take those, right? Probably. But, that being said, I'll still take something that somebody else has searched because I don't know what they're looking for. Maybe there's a double die that they're just trying to find and they're looking for stuff like that, and maybe they're not looking for W quarters, you know, or I don't know, insert whatever here. Like, again, you would think those people would have enough knowledge to pull out the silver, but I guess what I'm saying is just because somebody has already searched something doesn't mean there's nothing in there that you may want to keep. Just depends. Some people would look at some of these pretty nickels that I have set aside. I don't know, we'll call them AU, BU, whatever. And just toss those back. I see them and I'm like, I mean, yeah, they're not really worth much, but they're old. They're in great shape. Yeah, like, why would you not keep them? Are they super rare? Probably not. Can you find better ones? Most definitely. But out of a bankroll, am I going to see them anytime soon? Most likely no. So, you know, it just depends. That's kind of why I've broadened my horizon a bit, because I think I was going through quarters, and I shows you how not stupid I am, but how ignorant of the numismatic side I am, or was, or whatever. And I was going through quarters looking for silver for months, right? Like when I been having trouble getting the halves here and there, I'd get quarters and I'd go through them and I'd look for silver, right? Like I said, I wasn't looking at W's. I wasn't even looking for them. Not even silver, nope, silver, nope, silver. Just going through them, going through boxes. And I forget. I honestly forget where it was that I found out about the W's. I mean, I knew of the West Point Mint, but I just didn't know that, the modern coins had... Maybe I saw one or something. I don't know. Like it caught my eye. I don't know. Or I saw it somewhere on social media or something. But then I was like, oh, yeah, they make W. And that's when I found out that the W's were worth more than a silver quarter. In, most cases, if they're not, like, completely beat up or whatever. And I'm like, that was like my you're an idiot moment. Here I am searching through these boxes looking for silver, and there's something in them that's more valuable than silver that's probably more likely to be found, arguably, and you're not even looking for it. So I was like, how much money am I just tossing back to somebody else because I'm not looking? So that's one of the reasons why I've tried to, like, broaden my horizons a bit, because if I'm going through the coins anyway, I'm going to try to pull as much money or value out of the box. Plus, it's more fun, looking through for silver, you're more than likely, maybe you're going to find a coin or two or whatever, or get super lucky and find a couple, but that's about it in a whole box. You may find 3, 4 W's, It takes longer, but you may find them. So that's, I don't know, that's what got me was I realized I didn't know much about the actual coins I was looking through. And that's where I started trying to find out. And then the numismatic side crept up on me a bit. I was already buying some of that stuff at that time. You're really... Oh, there's a big scratch across Jefferson, but considering the wear, it was a really nice 63. 2004, and that one's in great shape. Louisiana Purchase, and it's like all... I mean, it's got some wear, but it's got like luster. It's really nice. I was already buying some of the halves and things at that time. Slabbed coins and stuff. Generally still silver. But that's what kind of crept me in. I was already buying some of that stuff. I'm looking through the coins more specifically for different things and trying to learn, what's the mintage on that coin? Is that rare? It's, is it harder to find? Do I need to keep those when I find them? Things like that. I started asking those questions, and down the rabbit hole I went. And really haven't looked back since. Not too much anyway. I will try this year to probably focus on weight a little more and, value. I've made a lot of purchases this year. Well, last year, this year, that were mainly about stuff that I wanted or cool things. I maybe do need to get back to focusing on weight and fundamentals a little bit more. But, okay, we're down to the second row. We'll get there eventually. But, I'll still buy other stuff, and I have some other responsibilities this year that are going to detract from my purchases and some other places that money needs to go. But that's okay. And I'll still make purchases. I'm just going to try to not be more smart, because I don't feel like I've made any truly bad purchases, right? But, maybe be more focused on weight, I guess is the short way to say it. Da Vinci says, my sister lives in Virginia, so I told her to send me some coins from there. Should get it any day now. Like, how many coins? I mean, that could be like a handful, or it could be like a box. And if it's a box, that could be a very good box. Also, I'm going to try when I start to branch out and get a hold of some of these other banks in different locations to try to get stuff. I'm also going to try to grab some hole-in-the-wall banks out, in small rural towns and see what I can get from them. Hoping that maybe they have some stuff that's been sitting around. See, there's a really nice 2022. Lots of luster. You're old. What are you? 72. Not old enough. And see if I could, I'm not going to expect anything amazing, but, they could be sitting on something and have been sitting on it for some time maybe, and nobody's asked a smaller bank in the middle of nowhere for a box of halves or whatever. So we'll try it. I'm not expecting any miracles, but it's worth a shot. So far, just my present, but I'm going through a huge 5-gallon, I'm guessing that's pan full. I'm scooping everything. Then I'll move on to getting rolls. I thought about this, and I don't, it would have to be, like, locally, right? But I thought about doing, I don't know, let's just call it Facebook ads, right? That says, I buy, like, jars of change, right? Like, actually pay money to make these Facebook ads, and get them put together and put them out there in front of people in my geographic area, probably within, hopefully, I don't know, like 30 miles of me or something, and put out Facebook ads that says, like, do you have a jar of change or whatever? I will buy it from you. I will come, I will look at it, we'll weigh it, I'll guess the composition as best I can, and I will offer you a price for this bunch of change. And see if I could do that. I don't know how that would work. I've done some of the calculations, assuming percentages of different coins, but that's kind of a crapshoot. But if there was stuff in there, W quarters, whatever, I'm gonna make out like a bandit, or God forbid, silver, things like that. It'd be like a lottery ticket kind of thing. Like, yeah, you might get me over on the exact the face value versus, what I'm giving you. You might get over on me a little on that, but I'm looking for stuff in here that you don't know what it is. This looks weird. 84, but man, look at that ding. Big old ding on the side of the coin. The coin itself looks like horrible, but I guess not super bad, but I thought about doing something like that because I saw this lady at my daughter's mom's when I was taking her over there one day, and I guess, I don't know, she was moving in or moving stuff or whatever. And do you know what I mean when I say, like, the carafe jars? It's like I don't know, like a lot of places they'll put, like, orange juice and different stuff in them, and they have, like, a wide top, kind of a skinnier neck, and then a big bottom. It's like a carafe jar. She had one of these carafe jars sitting there while she was moving her stuff or whatever, full of at least pennies. I don't know if there was anything else. I just kind of glanced at it from afar, and she was actually out, like, moving stuff or doing whatever she was doing. And I actually asked her, I said, hey, would you sell that change? And she's like, oh, that's just stuff I've had forever. And I'm like, I know. That's why I'm asking you. if you would like to sell it. And she goes, oh, I'm busy right now. Maybe come check with me later. I don't know. Maybe I'll go leave a note on her door. But again, if it's a jar of change that somebody has been adding to for years, there's likely to be something in there. This one, what do the steps look like on this one? It looks really good. So like a 95, I think. And the front was looking pretty cool. The back, I need to switch bins, or else I'm not gonna make it. The other fun thing about coin roll hunting, well, I mean, it's not fun, I guess, but I've gotten pretty good at rolling these things back up. I mean, again, it's not much, but I think I rolled back up like a box of quarters in like half an hour or something last night while I was watching Big Flip stream. It kind of bothered me at first, having to roll everything back up. And I got those rollers things, and I've kind of got a system down, and I don't even think about it. I'm just sitting here and boom, boom, boom. And it's like it's done before. Here's a really... some scratches on the cheek. It was a really nice 88. But not nice enough. Alright, next roll. Change pail was 87 pounds, 4 years worth. Man, there's so much stuff you can find in people's junk change, and not a lot of people have it now. And that's one of the reasons why I was thinking about that Facebook thing, because I feel like 5 years from now, it's going to be even more rare than it is now, right? Because people don't use change and dollars like they used to. So people spend a lot less cash. There's it's debatable, but it's a decent 79, but not decent enough upon further inspection. What are you? 77? So, I feel like those tales of I save all my change and I throw it in this jar are getting more and more rare. And so, I feel like now might be the time to spend $50 on Facebook ads in my area to see, hey, I buy jars of change. Contact me for an estimate on how much I'll give you, because not only will I estimate it from hopefully the weight and size of the container or whatever, and what I think the composition is, so you might get over on me there, but I went to my Coinstar the other day, and I don't always, only a few times have I ever checked the tray, right? People do that stuff all the time, I guess. But only a couple times recently have I had the wherewithal to check the tray. But the last time I ever remember using a Coinstar, which was forever ago, but the last time I remember, I think it took it was 6 or 7 cents or something per dollar, right? But this time I had the wherewithal to actually pretend like I was going to do something and see what the fee was. It's 12 or 13 cents plus. There was I want to say it was a 50-cent just blanket fee. They called it a sorting fee or something of that nature. There's a nice 87, but it's got scratches on it. So it's 13 cents a dollar, and that's 50-cent sorting fee or whatever. That's a lot. That means I don't know, I don't have my calculator up, but you know what? For $10, you're losing $1.30. Is that right? Yeah. $10, you're losing $1.30. And then extrapolate that. You're losing $13 if you have $100 worth of change. You know, chances are my estimate is probably going to fare better for you than Coinstar. And you don't have to lug it in. You don't have to do any of that. I'll come to you. I'll pick it up. I think, I don't know when, but I think I'm actually going to do that. Run some Facebook ads. I buy change. Jars of change. And see if I can get anything that way. And those would be some good hunt videos. You know, say I get one. Or I go drop a post-it note on that lady's door. Sky's the limit on that search. You know what I mean? There could be anything in that jar. Literally, I mean, there could be anything in any bank box, I guess, but, you know, none of us are expecting to find like a 1909 SVDB, right? It's not impossible, but it seems very unlikely in a bank box. But if it's in somebody's coin jars that they've been adding to for the last decade, odds go up, right? So maybe I will. Maybe I'll start with her. I'll go drop a post-it note on her door and say, hey, I'm the guy that asked about your change. I'll buy it from you based on weight and composition. You know, give me a call. Here's my number, whatever. And see what happens if she ever gets a hold of me. But I really think I'm going to do... Here's another Louisiana purchase. It doesn't look horrible. It looks pretty decent. Not as nice as the last one we found. But I think I'm going to do that. Because it's getting harder and harder to get, like, big caches of stuff that hasn't already been searched through. You know, it's just so rare now. Ooh, there's a really nice 83. It's got some wear, but lots of luster. Not the worst hunt we've had, but not the best. That one roll earlier, I wish I could go back. Like, was there more? Was there more of these? Does somebody... But that bank in question that gave me this box, I don't know what their deal is, but they will not try hard. They've gotten better about giving me stuff, but I'm getting whatever is in that person's, like, cabinet, till, what, I don't know how that works. But whatever they have, like, right there, whoever I'm talking, that's what I get. They won't go to the vault, pull anything out. They won't do any of that. So they try, but they don't try hard. So if I were to go in there and ask, like, hey, did you have any more of those? Like, if it could be in the lady's stuff next to the one I'm talking to, and they're not gonna, like, investigate. They're just like, nope, this is what I got. Like, you know, I think they put up with me now, or at least try to get me to go away or whatever. But yeah, they don't try very hard. My other bank will try a little harder, but they don't seem to get... I mean, they get what they get. Like, I put in orders and stuff, but half the time here lately, they don't get filled at all. There's a really nice 2006 Return to Monticello. Yeah, they don't try very hard. And a lot of my orders, like, I think I've put in for orders of halves, like, every week. I keep telling her, like, get me some halves, get me some halves. Anything come in? Nope. Anything come in? Nope. Did you get any? Nope. They got denied. I don't know what's going on with it. But I'm not getting them. I'm going to try that other bank, too. I'm going to ask them to order me some and see if they get them. But it it kind of sucks. I know some people that just run around to banks. I don't know how they have that kind of charisma, but I don't. Every bank around here wants you to have an account to even talk to them, and some of them do want to limit. There's a nice 2001, but it's got some scratches. A lot of them want to limit it to like only business customers and stuff like that. It's kind of hard around here, honestly, for coin roll hunters. Coffee? Yeah, I would rather roll the coins too, and it's really not that bad. But what Coinstar is banking on anymore, it seems, is that most people don't even have rolls, right? And there's only like 5 of you in here. It's been a minute, and I appreciate this. And plus, I need to do a restroom break. So we're going to do 2. I don't mind. You guys have been very nice. And even though there's not a lot of people in here, that's fine. I don't mind that. I kind of prefer a chat that's not super fast because I'd just be missing it because I'm looking through coins anyway. We have 2 stacks of 3 grams. If you get a firearm and you don't want one, I guess we could try to figure that out, but one of them does have a firearm in it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start a giveaway. 3-minute timer. I'm going to use the restroom. Maybe refresh my coffee. I'll come back. We'll pick that one, and then we'll start another one right after. And we'll just do this. Because you guys have been so patient and so nice and keeping the conversation up in the chat while I am staring at coins. I appreciate it. You know I do. And so there we go. Enter in. I'll be right back. I remembered the microphone. I'm getting better at this. All right, so everybody's in. Boom, Da Vinci. Perfect. So then we will complete that one. I know it's a pain, but complete that one and then start another. Da Vinci, I don't think I have a bag for you yet, so we'll get one here. And then we start the next one. So enter in again. Fix this because it says Ringmaster. I'm sure that's where it came from. Boom. 3 grams of silver back into the giant pile. You know, I have to check too. North Shore. No, that's right. North Shore did send me his address. I got it. We need another bag unless it's already somebody that's won before. I need to go buy some baggies. Well, not really, because most of these will probably be put into like flips. Some of the ones where it's just a couple grams, I'll probably put them into like a coin flip when I send them out. Okay, about 2 minutes left for the couple people that are in here. Jason, it's nice to see you. I see you entering in. I appreciate it. Jimmy, nice to see you as well. I can't see the chat at the exact moment. Now I can. So Da Vinci got one. Oh, it really doesn't matter when we're so small like this. It's not like we're giving away grams of gold, right? So I don't know. I don't think anyone gets too hateful on it, especially over here, because I try to do a decent amount of giveaways. Especially on ones like this, where you guys are hanging out. Yeah, I'm almost done. Yeah. Almost done. Don't look at me like that. Child trying to rush me. Believe that? Yeah, no, and that's fine. If it's a personal choice. I'm just saying I wouldn't mind. Now, if, like, the other night I was doing some slightly bigger stuff, and I think Constitutional had won, like, 2 back-to-back. And, yeah, I think 2 back-to-back. So I was like, hey, man, you know, you probably don't. And I think even he said something. Like, everyone's going to hate me for this. But it looks like we got everybody, so I'll close entries and pick the winner. And there we go. Mr. Lucky Jimmy Lacari. Boom. So, Jimmy, I got you down. And I already have your address, I believe. So, this is what we're going to do. Because time's a ticking. And let me close this out in the Streamlabs. Because time's a ticking, I'm going to hit these 4 rolls. And basically, that's the end of this row. And that leaves me 1 row. But the little one is starting to get all crabapple and hangry. And she wants to go out to dinner. So, this is taking me a little longer than I thought. Usually, I kind of go through some of this a little faster. 1960, we don't need. But we'll wrap it up. And then, I don't know, who knows, maybe I'll be back on later. I do still have a full box of pennies and no social life. Oh, wait, no, I do have to shoot some videos and stuff. But maybe. You never know. Maybe I'll find my way back on tonight. It depends on who's on, what's going on, what else I have, you know, accomplished or not accomplished, I guess, in the time that I have. But we'll see. I always love hanging out with you guys. She is about to turn 10 in
6 days.
6 days. I know when your birthday
So
is.
under a week.
I was there when you were created. Although, I do get the year wrong sometimes. It messes me up because she's born early in the year, and my son is born late in the year, like real late. So they're 2 years apart, but one calendar year, right? And so it messes with my head. It always makes me like second guess, like, like, wait, which one was born what year? They're 2 years apart, but it's only 1 year on the calendar. But it messes me up. And so it seems, oh, there's something old. Do we need it? 1956 D. Of course not. But we'll throw that back up in our old stuff. I don't know why we're going to start pulling some of that, but if we got that roll that already has a bunch of real early stuff, like the 50s, the 40s, some of that. I mean, I'm not going to go crazy, but 61D. Why do we keep finding those? I don't think it's an upgrade, but it's ridiculous. Can't find coins, and then, oh, here we go. 1952. Why, when the box is heating up, do I have to take this child for food? So wait, 52 P. That sucks. We already have one. We need the D and the S. There's a lot of that. In my book, a lot of the D's and S's we need. It's 5 kids. J. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sure you're happy, and it warms your heart, and all of these other things, and it's a beautiful thing, and congratulations. But I don't know how to kill me and stress me out, and I'm not even to the teenage years yet, so I cannot imagine 5. Jeez. Good luck to you. It sounds like they're mostly grown now, but man, I knew my limit. 2. I thought that through for a while. I'm pretty sure I don't want to go past that. It's enough. Plus, they're old enough now. I feel, it was just me. I feel like if I were to have a kid now, my son's just turned 8. And if I were to have another kid now, I feel like that would be like super, not weird. I'm not dogging anyone that, but an 8-year age gap, right? I feel like at that point you're almost not even siblings. You can't really relate. It's not like you can play together the way kids play together. Yeah. I don't see that as the same. I know people like that had large age gaps. And they're like, yeah, like I have older brothers and sisters, but like I never talk to them. They're out living their lives, and I'm in high school, and they have kids, and I'm just now out of high school or whatever have you, It's a half decent 82. Not nice enough. So I consider that highly when thinking about additional kids. And I'm glad that the 2 I have, like their age gap is pretty close, right? Because they can relate. They're both on a similar kind of level. And I think that'll do them well as they begin to get into their teenage years. But like the big gaps, I don't know how some people do it. All right, 2 more rolls. My youngest grandson just got his license check. Whew, yeah, and I know I'll say that my niece and my nephew, my sister's kids, they're both. She had kids young, right? And so for that reason, there's only, I don't know, I think I was like 9 or 10, maybe, when my sister had her daughter. Sounds about right. It's something like that. And so, they're all grown up now. Like, legitimately grown up. And my kids are, still young. Like, I tried to catch a lot of that, but with life and different things and all of that, I missed a lot of them growing up because I was still a darn kid. I was in high school or fresh out of high school or doing whatever, and I went from talking to my nephew about building a treehouse. I remember, and I was like, yeah, I'll see if maybe we started on it, and then I said we would try to improve it, and I would come and we would try to work on it, and just it never happened. Me getting over there for that dedicated thing, and then the next real time I stopped to breathe and look, he had graduated high school and was moving to Florida or something, and I'm like, we were just talking about building a treehouse a couple weeks ago. Seems like time just flies, man, especially if you're not there with someone on the day-to-day that, my nephew. Boom, and they're grown up. You missed all that time. It's kind of taught me, and that's one of the things I'm going to try to work on in the coming years, attempting to be more present in the things that I do, because we seem so busy and we're all running and doing things and everybody has phones. Yes, one more roll. See? Be more present. Telling your kid to hold on. Don't hit me on live stream. That's parental abuse. I'll call the parental protection agency and they'll come take you away because you're abusing me on a live stream. My kids, the kids now, they think it's a joke. It's not, but they think it's a joke. Every time, my son, I'm like, we'll be messing around or whatever, and I'm like, oh, you gotta do this, and, whatever, sarcastic backtalk or whatever, and I'm like, I'll beat your butt, and that's child abuse, and I'm like, no, no, it's not. You think it is, but it's not. Trust me. So they watch some of that stuff on the internet a little too much, and I'm like, no, yeah, and even his mom's like, yeah, no, I will beat you in the behind, and I will not get in trouble for it. The worst thing that's going to happen is I'm going to have a talking to by someone who we're wasting their time, because we're not abusive, you know what I mean? A spanking and abuse are very different. And they've gotten the wrong idea. Ooh, that's a really nice 95. The steps have a gash on them. Oh, yeah. You can kind of, I think you kind of see it. Maybe. There's the gash right there. But it's pretty close. I'll keep that in my pretty pile. Because we've not found so much. But yeah, kids think a little discipline nowadays is abuse. We don't. I can't. I literally can't remember. I could probably count on one hand all of the times I've laid a hand on any of my kids. But, they get very, very good treatment compared to what I got when I was a kid. So, we had implements. Paddles and belts and things, and it wasn't if you were gonna get spanked or whatever, beaten for lack of a better term, it was what you were going to get spanked or beaten with for whatever you did. I don't know, it's changed a lot. And does it make people softer? I hope not. We'll see. I'm trying to raise my kids right, but we'll see. Anyhow, so far, what we found. We'll add these to this slightly older roll of mostly 30, I think it was 39 and 40, 41. And then a couple oddities here and there. But we'll add these other few into this old roll of, honestly, nothing too special. And then, lots of 2006s, which is great. Do you see what I deal with? Lots of 2006s, which is great for us putting together the sets. A few Louisiana, a keelboat, a couple Louisianas in really nice shape, which is good because when I put those together for things like giveaways, I want to be, at least on the higher end of circulated coins. So nothing too bad. And then like 5 we have here in our, we'll call them AU to BU, hopefully kind of range. 77, 84, 82, a 90, and a 93. Nothing too bad. We still got a whole row, but I mean, I think we kind of feel like we know where this box is heading at this point. If there is anything amazing, I will do a short on it. I promise you. And you guys will see it. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to go get this kid some food. And myself. And then I will catch you guys later. Maybe I'll get on for a live stream. Who knows? But at least I will see you guys around. I'm sure in somebody else's live stream or whatever. Congratulations to the winners. Da Vinci, did you get my email? I'm not even on the video. Hold on, let me refresh. I'll get in here. You could do exclamation email. Hold on. Let me turn the sound off. What the heck? What the heck? I just clicked on my live stream and it's showing me somebody else's stuff. Hold on. There we go. Here, Da Vinci. If you haven't already, and if you did, and I'm an idiot, can you let me wrap this up without... Oh, I know. Yeah, there you go. So I'll give it a second for that to pop up. Copy that. Dog. Well, it's probably a good time that I'm wrapping this up anyway. Because the kid's hangry and the dog's crazy and the squeaker toy is on point. So, anyhow, I will see you guys later. Thank you for hanging out. Send me that email. Yeah, North Shore. I'm almost certain when you asked me the other day, I got it. I will have to get over. I'll do it again. Give me a second. I'll get over and check again. But I'm pretty sure I did. And I put a star on it if I remember correctly. No? I don't know. I don't see a star. Hold on. Kyra, can you please stop with the squeaky toy for 5 more seconds? I know. Can you see if you can stop her, please?
Here, drop it.
Thank you. Just give me a minute. Let me see. I'm in the right one. No, I don't know, North Shore. I thought I had it. And I thought I saved it. But at least at the moment, I'm not seeing it. No, that doesn't mean that it's not here. Let me copy your username, because I'm sure you said it somewhere. Oh, it's NRTH. Okay, hold on. Let me see. No, I don't think I did. Come to think of it, I don't think I did, North Shore, so send it again. Copy that email in the chat and try to send it again. But, I'm not going anywhere, so we'll get it figured out, and we still have at minimum a couple of days before I mail these out, so no big rush, but send me another one because I don't see it. That's weird. I could have swore, maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Yeah, I must be, because I could have swore you sent... I thought maybe I'm thinking somebody else. But I'm looking through the inbox and I'm just not seeing it. So yeah, try to send it again. And then I get these spam emails from people I don't know asking me to open up a documents, and that's how they get your YouTube account. And they've put other people on this email. Yeah, no. Delete inbox. Delete that. And they've hit me a bunch recently with those kind of, I don't know, phishing emails, whatever. But anyhow, I'm gonna end it here. North Shore. It looks like you got it. That's why I use Kong balls. Yeah, she'll tear those up too. But the squeaker toys, I don't know why. She's like more gentle with them for longer. They last longer than the Kong balls. I don't know. Take it easy, and I will see you all later. I